In this episode, I want to talk about financial strategy because at the end of the day, it's about how much you buy, or what you sell, and how much you sell. It's about numbers. Life comes down to numbers, So therefore, and how that number or numbers are interpreted and interwoven with other functional areas. Therefore, in my definition of financial strategy, I said financial strategy is how organizations' financial resources, skills, and competencies should be combined with other functional areas like operation, human resources, marketing, and environmental areas to create a competitive advantage. Creating a competitive advantage is building capabilities. Building capabilities drills down to technology, human capabilities, and it's about consistency. It's about adapting to the market or adapting to your customers in demand, which will involve your operations and involve your marketing, involve your IT for redesign and things like that, and involves learning. And these are critical components. So for a startup, it is not how much capital that you're able to raise, it's how you're able to harness the capital raised to maximize output, to increase your bottom line. How you're able to create capabilities. Are you able to harness your skills, your financial skills, your financial competencies, your financial resources to create benefit for your customers, to create benefit for your consumers, to create benefit not just for your outside stakeholders or your outside customers, but also your internal customers, like other functional areas within the organization. I have further broken it down into these core areas when it comes to financial strategy. One is about involving finance in decision making and in operational issues. Secondly, is to create and to have a robust control system, control process in your financial functional area of the organization, and also to broaden that into all other areas within the organization, because there has to be a good and robust control mechanism in order for you to have a good KPI, key performance indicators, so that you can measure performance over time. You can measure performance there are different ways you can measure performance. You have non-financial performance measure, and you have financial performance measures, depending on how you're able to create and develop it and deploy it. And the third is to increase capability and efficiency within your finance. And lastly, to have a clear, precise, and concise financial goals. Where do you see your where does the organization see itself in 5, 10, 20 years time? When do you want to go public? And besides that, which other financial leverage do you have at your disposal in terms of acquisition, in terms of developing new product or enhancing already existing product, or penetrating into new markets in terms of uh, making acquisitions, or in terms of entering a new market or new entrants or whatever, because at the end of the day, it all comes down to numbers. How much do you have to spend, in order for you to be able to penetrate that market And at the same time, which is something I'm gonna talk about later on the show, is also to know if you're gonna be a low cost. Your strategy is gonna be, your overall strategy is gonna be either product differentiations or low cost differentiation or low cost or whatever, you know. And fourthly, you also, because my experience of working in finance for over a decade has shown me that often the time where you see finance people, they often sit in the corner, in the office, in the building. You come into the building and you ask, where's your finance department? Or they're in that corner, and often the time they don't even know. Some people don't even know the system they're using. So, fourthly, is to have a good financial IT to enable automation. Which ERP system are you using? Is it SAP, uh, Microsoft Dynamics? Is it Oracle NetSuite or Oracle 11 or 12? What do you have? And also, what type of reconciliation tools do you have in order for you to automate things in your finance? Because without that automation taking place, it becomes tedious and it becomes very hard. Without automation, reporting becomes harder, forecasting, budgeting, planning all becomes harder to do. For transparency, and it becomes very hard for one to sift through all the mundane data, and you need a system in order for you, if you were to make quick and to make quick and smart decisions as to where you are going, either in operation, in marketing, in IT, your environment, or human resources. You need this transparency in your financial data to enable you make those quick and fast decisions that is required. And lastly is value creation. You need to create value. This has to be things like corporate governance, capital allocation, merger and acquisition, risk management, because as an organization, let me start from the bottom up. As an organization, you are faced with enormous risks when it comes to finances. It's either you're being financed by the VCs or venture capitalists or private equity, or whatever, or bank lend you some money, or from some financial institutions that maybe through bonds or whatever. But those finances has to be paid back. It's either you pay them with interest, or you pay them with your revenue generating operations. And therefore, there are risks embedded. And if you say you want to, and especially if you operate internationally as well, there's risk of devaluations in foreign exchange risk and things like that. Then you have to think about, what is my capital cost in terms of which capital which financing has the lowest capital cost and things like that, because that could put a burden or a strain on your ability to invest, your ability to develop new product, to affect, if not well managed, it will impede your expansion plans. Now, merger and acquisition, then you have to find synergies, that 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 will compensate you. Is there any synergy with this company we want to acquire, or how would this company fit into our overall strategy and things like that? There's a whole study that your strategic department or your strategy department has to do in terms of due diligence. You have to study all that to be able to know that you are deploying the right financing for your merger and acquisition. Are you going to pay by share or just a share swap, or are you going to borrow, get, is it going to be, you're going to pay in cash, or you're paying just share exchange and on other stuff. Then also you have to do what they call capital allocation. And there is an enormous risk when it comes to capital allocation, because you can allocate capital to a project that will end up being a mess, that will end up being a shit. You ain't getting nothing out of it, you know, and you waste that money. So therefore, there's a lot going into capital allocation. You must be able, during your what they call, therefore, financial strategy should drive every other strategy within the organization, because you need finance for human resources. You need finance to hire the right people. You need finance to operate. You need finance to design a product, to manufacture the product, to package the product, and to sell the product. You need finance to market, to let people know that you have a service, you have a solution to their problems. And you need finance, you need to pay for those stuff, you need money to pay for those stuff, to pay for those advertisements, either digital or billboards. And you need finance to acquire the right IT or technology that can set you apart, that can help you manufacture, that can help you do your job much easily, that can help you. You can be implemented within your HR department, that it takes you to source a candidate, to get the right candidate, and you need finance for you to design that process. So you need finance at the same time for you to deploy technology for the environment, to have a sustainable, to manufacture or develop products that are environmentally friendly, that can help us sustain the environment for the future generations. Therefore, your financial strategy should be your overall action strategy, should be the driving force of your overall strategy, because every other areas of your strategy depends on the success of your financial strategy. If you get your financial strategy wrong, every other thing within the organization or within the strategic package will be wrong, because you got the fundamentals wrong. And your financial strategy is your fundamental, is a driving force to your strategic approach or goal.